Alrighty. What I thought was going to be a ZVZ, it actually turns out to be a ZVT. I mean, these two players playing, starting the top left, we have Psystorm Cellsidus. Bottom right, we have Morale Esports Bingoking. I believe these two monkeys are busy playing while in the same Discord together. They are both members of the elite, what's it called, Ape Central? Or a Magnus gang, I think, that he brought in. But very excited to see both of them play. Bingoking, usually a, I want to say macro-orientated Zerg player. Both of them about mid 5k. Cellsidus is a very non-standard Zerg player, who does seem to be going 16 hatch though, which would be a bit of a break from the usual, but he is playing against Terran, which he does know. But I think maybe he's got some other plans in store here for Bingoking. You standard openers from both sides. I have no idea what kind of MMR Bingoking is on Terran. Actually, I want to check that. I can imagine playing ZVZ against Cellsidus is probably going to be a bit painful because I believe he is a big fan of the good old 1312. And one would think you could probably hard counter that, but or at least, yeah, mostly hard counter it. But Bingoking is going to rather just go with Terran. Arguably quite a hard race to cheese, although I'd say, if I'm not mistaken, Cellsidus struggles more against Protoss, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, Bingoking's Terran is actually, looks to be about 5k, just under. He has been as high as 5.6 on Terran, so definitely not a stranger to the man with gun. But let's see if that's going to be good enough against Cellsidus, who is still not doing anything out of the ordinary, except, yeah, okay, we're hitting a drone. No, everything's normal over here. Nothing untoward happening yet. We'll see. Maybe Cellsidus just wants to play a macro game to prove a point against Bingoking. Oh, Cellsidus, bro. The Overlord. No! Oh no, he just needed to move it slightly up and to the right and it would have been fine. Oh boy. Maybe Cellsidus isn't used to having, not having complete map control at this stage of the game. Reaper is just going to be nibbling on the third base. I have to double Overlord and supply block ourselves. Ooh, yeah, that's actually, this is rough. We are floating 7 larvae. I'm going to supply block. We almost need to start up at the next Overlord as well. Because we're going to hit another supply block as soon as this one finishes. Oh no. Come on, Cellsidus. Another Overlord. Oh well. The 44, next Overlord starts. Do we? No, we haven't used all our larvae yet. No, we have. Okay. Not quite supply blocks, so we're okay. We do have another queen started though. What is going to be the build here from Bingoking? This will be the very standard 3cc Hellion Banshee. So far completely plain vanilla macro. Decent number of lings being built by Cellsidus, but nothing to suggest that it's a cheese yet. Lair starts at 4 minutes, that is definitely early. Double gas being taken before any drones at the third, so okay, this is where we start to deviate from the norm. Although I'm still not sure what he's going for, maybe mutas. Which would do pretty well against Hellion Banshee, but I don't know if this is an optimized way to do it. Oh. Hellion's going for a dive here. Ooh, they get a nice first volley on those lings, but they are going to be forced to run away now. The lings can't really chase this off creep though. We lost a lot there. 6 lings for a Hellion. Yeah, okay, I thought it was more lings than that. Not the end of the world either way. Surely that's not right, right? Surely we lost more than 6 lings. Oh, weird. Looked like way more. Layer's done. Well, let's see. Are we going to get a spire? We have more than enough gas for it. Wait, what did we just use our gas on? Okay, there's the spire, yep. Saw the gas go down, but I didn't see... I think the drone was still running there. Spire, Baning Nest, we're going to play Mutiling Bane. Meanwhile, Bingoking is waiting for some shenanigans. He's going double bunker. Okay, so he's pretty concerned about the lack of workers at the third, I imagine, which is fair. He's going to dive in with the Hellions here. They're going to get one drone and be forced to piss off, because that's a decent number of lings here, and they can clean up these Hellions if they get anywhere close to them. I think we do want to start droning up again here, Cellsidus, and that's what we're going to do. We'll also supply block for a bit. Okay. I don't think we've actually seen... Oh wait, we did see... Okay, I guess the... yeah. We haven't confirmed the spire, but I think it's, at this point, pretty safe to say... Spire, worst case, it's going to be borrowed roaches, in which case the missile turrets are still good. So, Bingoking preparing. Cellsidus is going to go immediately into +1 flyer attacks. Or even building any muters. He supply blocked, yes he is. Guess that explains the lack of muter building. Which has been unfortunate. We are getting Bane speed though. We'll keep him safe. Problem with playing Hellion, 3cc Hellion Banshee against muters is that you really can't punish the Zerg. Because all you have for most of the early game, or even the early mid game, is just basically Hellions and Banshees, neither of which can really threaten any serious damage. Oh, getting a decent amount of Marines up. Stim is done. 1-1's almost, well, 2/3 of the way done. As we see, the first muters popping up now. Gonna get up to 60 workers. I would like to see a fourth base being taken here for Cellsidus. Unless he just plans to go all in with this, which is also possible. Just massling Bane until you can't anymore and then send it. I'll make game sound seem very low. Weird. Let me just double check my audio is actually picking up. Testing, yeah, now we're fine. There's some audio coming through, just not much for some reason. Anyway, muters are going to come in now. No surprise to anyone. They are going to be able to cancel some buildings, which is pretty nice. Cancel the second factory. No, we're going to let that finish. There's the second factory, right? No, it's the third factory. Ooh. What is Bingoking planning? We're getting 3 factories? That is a very curious choice here. Got an armory... Not quite done. Oh, so our 2-2 is giga delayed with that armory not finishing. That is a big problem here for Bingoking. Gonna give Cellsidus a long time to catch up in the upgrade department. We finally get back on building the armory. I still want to see, what are we actually going to use this? We're just going to go mass tank with these 3 factories. One of them appears to not be hotkeyed, I think. We have the money. Okay, 2-2 starts. So it's going to go very heavy on the tanks. Is that really good against the Mutiling Bane? I wouldn't have thought so. Obviously you might hit a decent timing, but surely it's just too expensive. It looks like this is the time we want to go, however we are going to have to send some units back to deal with these muters. Muters fly into a bit more they can chew here with these Marines. 2 missile turrets are also a bit rough. So they're forced to piss off. Hopefully they don't fly over this Marine ball. If Bingoking's paying attention, he could snipe these muters. Oh. Instead it's going to be Cellsidus looking to get a snipe on the siege tanks. Do we have enough here for Bingoking to really threaten? I think Cellsidus should be okay with the reinforcements popping. It is fighting now might be a bit early. Ooh, indecision that plus to pull back in the Banes, so it means we're going to tank a lot of shots, or a lot of tank shots on the way back. Pretty rough there. Hello, Magnus and Reaper.
Hello.
As we are going to be... Yeah, the muter count's looking pretty healthy right now. We've got 18 muters. No second upgrade startup for the muters though, so we're just sticking with +1 for now. I think we might be, yeah, starved a little bit on gas. But I think this push from Bingoking, I think he might be overstaying his welcome though, because his Marines are getting picked off. Only 2 tanks in position. 2 more do show up, which is nice. But I think if we went for us around here, Cellsidus, we could crush this push pretty easily.
Are you on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch. Yeah, I think we need... Definitely want to set up this around if we want to clean this up cleanly. We really are committing to this as Bingoking. We got more reinforcements coming. Now Cellsidus has to pull the trigger, attacking from one angle. Banes are going to be moved. Yep, we've commanded through. I think this should be good enough for a cleanup. Not enough anti-air here regardless. These mutas can clean up everything on the ground. And Cellsidus smartly runs his lings away from the tanks so that the mutas can heal them for free rather than losing any more units. Supply is still equal though. It's not like Cellsidus has a booming economy. So eventually he did take the 4th and saturate, so we do have the extra money now. We're not doing any more air upgrades, which I think is a bit of a mistake. You at least want to get +1 armor because it's very cheap. Hive's on the way though. So Magnus, what exactly is going on here? Because I've never seen Cellsidus play a macro game, and suddenly we're seeing a macro ZVT instead of Baboon ZVZ. Okay, so hold that thought. We're going to attack here on the 3rd base.
Well, Bingoking's Terran is like 4.8k, right?
Yeah.
And Cellsidus, he's thinking, okay, this guy's 100% gonna blind counter me, so I'm just gonna go for whatever idea of macro I have, right? Then this is his idea of macro, doing Ling Bane, Utah of 74 workers.
That kind of makes sense, but I would also thought by now the entire ladder should hard counter Cellsidus, because they all know he's going to do something weird, right? If you play Cellsidus on ladder, surely you're expecting buffoonery.
I just played him 2 days ago and I lost to the most basic cheese he has. So, you know.
Fair enough.
I think you know the quote, right, where like, think of the average person, how stupid he is, and half of them are dumber than the average person. I'm that half, you know. And there's a whole half of us that are losing this, also this on the other.
Honestly, I think you might have the opposite problem. I see watching you. I think you think too much, which is half the problem. I remember watching the games that we played, and like
that is what happens.
Your theory crafting like, so much about what I'm doing, and then eventually I just hit you with a brick anyway.
Yeah. I was like, he was doing some kind of like really fast catch gas, you know. So I was like, okay, this is way too obvious. He's just trying to get in my head. So I didn't react too hard. And then he wasn't trying to get in my head. It was just doing the most obvious all-in he could.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna go. We do have a nice surround getting set up here. Cellsidus is not max yet, going into a max Terran, but a lot of Terran on creep. Not a lot of complexity to this army, as the Link Bane is going to crash on through. One Thor providing anti is actually going to do a shit ton of work. Holy crap, this Thor is doing work on these mutas. And actually, this fight's going to go really well for Bingoking.
So long. It's crazy. This is an amazing trade for Bingoking, but look at the production tab.
Yeah, we got a lot of upgrades. We got the big boy ultras. Yeah, we're just kind of pumping out Marine Marauder. I mean, the Marauder's obviously going to help, but no libs or ghosts will mean that the ultras will have a chance to stabilize this game. But it's not like Cellsidus has a lot of bases either. We just lost one of our bases. We're down to 4 now. So, and Bingoking is still building another 2 bases, so he's getting ready for the late game. As long as he doesn't get kind of run over by these ultras, he should be in a good position. But here they come. Only 3 tanks here. We don't have chitinous yet on the ultras, which is pretty big, but the bio is really thinned out. A lot of reinforcing bio coming. That reinforcement probably will be enough to actually shut this down, I think. Even as it is, these Marines are standing their ground and shooting against the ultras who do not have chitinous, and they are melting. I think this should be the end of the game right here. Still no Ghost Academy in sight. Bingoking doesn't believe in the Ghost. He's just like, you know what, I'm just going to get many men with guns and rocket launchers. I'm just going to shove it down his throat. And I can respect that. I think it's going to work anyway. For denying 3-3 or +3 armor would be huge. Chitin is still not done. We only have 1 ultra on the field. It was looking pretty rough here for... oh, it's +3 denied. Looking pretty rough here for Cellsidus. I think we're going to see a GG in... yeah, once these Banes die. There we go. GG's called. Bingoking takes game number 1. Now let's see if Cellsidus remains as macro orientated after that first game.
don't think he will. I'm in a voice chat with him knocking over his game right now. He's complaining a lot about how long ultras take to build. I think he's gonna stop making them.
Yeah, I saw these two. They're both in the voice chat together, aren't they? Okay, I think one of them's I think Bingoking's deafened though.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what happens now. Are the gloves going to come off for Cellsidus? Are we going to see some of that stinky cheddar? That's the wrong way around. Or will we continue on the macro path? Let's see. Oh, okay, drone is going out. Thought for a second that we might see some pool first shenanigans, but the drone is on its way. Will be another 16 hatch here from Celsius. Maybe he wants to prove a point even. I'm not going to die to this 4.8k turn. I'm going to play macro and beat him. Just need to get those ultras out faster. I wonder what the chances are Bingoking deviates from 3cc Hellion Banshee. It's obviously one of the safest builds that Terran can do. One of the most safe economic openers you can do. It's not unbeatable. Queen drops tend to work pretty well against it. But if you can kind of alternate between the 3cc Hellion Banshees and 3cc 2-1, usually there's not many builds that can kill both of those. Watching Celsius' camera there, I think he's just directing the Overlord. Bingoking is going for a SV Scout and a high ground CC. He does not trust that there's not going to be some pool first shenanigans. But he was wrong. It is hatch first shenanigans as 4 lings on the way. Ling speed. We have a drone hidden for the third, we do. Taking all necessary precautions. It is going to be 3cc again. So no surprises there from Bingoking. I thought by now you'd have a second gas down. It's turn. But I can really remember the build orders. Let's see, starport, yeah. So it's going to be 3cc and Banshee again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cellsidus is not showing no tells yet of what he's up to. He's just macroing it up. Luckily for him, this time not getting that OV killed, which kind of really screwed him up in the early game, last game. I think it basically led to multiple supply blocks, and his macro really suffered for it. Now with a cleaner early game, let's see what he can do. Oh, still going. Looks like a similar build again. Early lair, double gas. Is he willing to die on this Muta hill? This Muta Lingbane hill that he has created for himself. Oh, Hellions thinking about running by there. Could have actually had two free drones. Not going to commit though, a little bit worried about getting caught out by the Lings. A decent number of Lings here from Cellsidus to defend. Let's see, there's the Spire, so it will be muted Ling Bane again. Hellions are going for a barbecue. We actually only kill... Oh, we killed 2 drones, okay. But we're going to lose the Hellions for this. How much more can they get in return? 3 drones will be the price for 2 Hellions and Reaper. Apart from losing map control, I don't think it's the end of the world. I guess you still have 4 more at home. I'm not sure why those guys aren't out on the map. But they will be good for defending against this Ling counterattack here. You might even be tempted to think it is a 3cc 2-in-1 without so few Hellions showing up. But not the case. We are going to start nibbling on these energy bays and force the Hellions to show themselves. Hopefully Celsius is paying attention. It is a very quick response there. I don't even know if he lost a single Ling. So very nicely played. He's going to get his 5th and 6th gases as the layer will spire will complete. +1 flyers, 5 meters on the way here for Celsius as these Banshees will make the way, and they're going to confirm what he might already know. And missile turrets already go down, so he is confirming and getting his defenses in place. Banshee's going to try and get some damage. Their time is limited. Oh, actually, not if the Overseer stops chasing them. And they actually get a little bit longer, so they can kind of go home now and be used for anti-run by defense. You can just plant them over these missile turrets and the Lings will never build anything. Well, flying straight over the missile turret is Cellsidus. That is not ideal. We're going to lose 1 meter, which takes us down to 4, meaning we also can't one-shot workers, which is not great. As the Mutiling Bane player. But definitely a cleaner start for Cellsidus this game. Banshee's going to try their luck, get some damage here. You can either use them as run by or you just try and get so much damage as they can before they get picked off by the Mutas. Mutas are going to be chasing here, and I think this Banshee, one Banshee at least will not get away. The other one doesn't have energy, so both of them should go down now. We're getting triple upgrades here. So we've got +1 flyers, armor, carapace, bane speed, all that good stuff. Hello, Rudy. Armory is done on time, I think, so we're not going to have a major delay in our 2-2 this time. Bingoking also shaking off the rust, I think, from game number 1. Right now, let's say the game state's about equal, unless we lose these Mutas, then it's going to be a little bit less equal. Losing Overseer is also not ideal. I want to get OV speed pretty quickly, probably. But Celsius supply looking pretty damn healthy. No 4th base in sight here for Bingoking, and maybe he wants to hit a 2-2 timing. How many factories do we have this game? We had 3 factories last time. Are we going to do 3 factory this time? Yeah, we are doing 3 factory. He really enjoys having his tanks. $85 workers for the Zerg, which is going to give him a very healthy economy here. I also need to see this attack is coming out. Ooh, we're flying our Mutas over missile turrets. And we actually use this little annoying siege up spot here to blast the Terran, or blast the Zerg off this base. Not the end of the world. I think Celsius needs to transfer to the other base. I don't know about fighting this. Okay, we're all just going to blast. Well, that's also what we're doing. We just blast the medevac out of the sky. Are we going to try and blast the siege tank? It looks like we are. Yeah, we do trade, I don't know how many meters that was, but get rid of the siege tank's pretty good. With the surround, we could actually dislodge this pretty easily. We get Ling Bane on both sides, we'd probably kill this army. But, so the surround is not quite yet set up. Hive, not yet on the way. Infestation pit was completed a moment ago, so we are able to get it. Just haven't had the time. Yeah, we definitely got the money. Just haven't had the time to click on the hive button. Here comes the surround. Banes are going to roll in with the lings. This drop here could do a lot of damage while this is getting cleaned up. This will be a cleanup here for Cellsidus, but how much damage is he going to take it back here in the meantime? Muta number's not that healthy either, so you could lose a lot of mutas here. These marines are all kind of dead, but oof, there's a lot of eco damage that was taken here, so I think overall not a bad trade here for Bingoking, despite getting cleaned up. Oops, that was almost a disaster flying over these marines. And Bingoking is actually just going to rinse and repeat, which I think is a pretty good call, because now Cellsidus' eco is hurting even more than it was. But to be honest, I think Cellsidus shouldn't really be fighting over this hatch anyway. It's kind of pointless. You can just mine from the space instead, maybe start expanding somewhere else. It's pretty hard, I think, for the Terran to push down here, especially with creep covering the path, so I think giving up on that territory is probably the way to go. Hive's still not done yet, so we can't actually get started with the Ultra Den, Ultra Cavern, which is going to make it a bit tough to dislodge this Terran ultimately. Decent army, just a Ling Bane here. It's going to take Bingoking a little bit of time to work his way onto this creep, work his way through the creep, should I say. Some mutas are going to dive on, kill a few marines. I think we lost maybe 2 mutas in the exchange. So. Wait, 5 mutas? No way. Okay, that was a really bad trade then. Mutas also rallying to their death, unfortunately. This will be a nice pick off here if we can kill this medevac. We can't. A lot of mutas just being rallied into their deaths here. Cellsidus not curing or controlling or adding his mutas to the main army hockey. Which can lead to awkward situations like that. This 3 factory tank production is really kicking in hard here, so we are going to go for the fight. I don't know if we have the numbers here for Cellsidus to dislodge this. Also not really a surround this time. Might just have enough. Baneling numbers are out. Yeah, there are enough mutas here I think to clear this, but it will still be a little bit expensive. Though I think you kind of need to just go for it before the reinforcements arrive. Just clear these guys and get rid of the tanks. Hive is done. Ultra Cavern not yet started though, so we did get the space in the meantime. So now, yeah, they've been trading, and the main thing is Bingoking has cleared all this creep over here, so we can't have as advantageous of a fight, but Bingoking still needs to come a little bit further forward, so it's not the end of the world yet. But the Baneling numbers, oh no, this is not really enough units here to fight. I think we had a lot of reinforcements spawning somewhere, didn't we? Uh-oh. I think we had to wait for more Banelings as we lose a whole lot more mutas on the attack. We are going to be able to snipe some tanks. But where is the main army? There's no real bulk to this army. Handful of Ling Bane is going to come, get pushed. We'll push this drop back and snipe the medevac. I think we're just going to jump this now, aren't we? Yeah. We should clear it up, it's going to hurt. Well, brutal fight overall. So we're going to see the mutas get pushed back here by the marines as the fight continues. I think we don't have 3-3 on the side yet. +3 attack on the side of the Terran, no armor, but still leading the way against the Zerg's 2-2 upgrades, and no armor for the mutas, which also means that +3 marines against unarmored mutas is pretty rough as trading goes. However, Bingoking is going to decide he doesn't want any more of the smoke. Unfortunately for him, that means he's going to lose all his tanks, which is a nice little pick-off here for Cellsidus. A great silver lining as he is going to recover his supplies. Eco is back up to 90. Still no Ultra Cavern though. It is a bit of a concern, and no 3-3 upgrades. But still, when you have a big flock of mutas, a lot can happen. But here comes Bingoking with the next round of pushing. Bingoking's going to start +3 air attack before getting anything else. Not really sure about that one, as we are going to dive on this missile turret, which I think we will get, yeah, so we can be able to bust this planetary. Problem is we are going to trade base for a base here, because I don't think we can really hold this. We don't have the Baneling numbers. Oh, Marine's just going to go and tuck themselves in there, though. That's going to offer them a nice trade for Cellsidus, which might actually mean he can just clear this. Yeah, and Mir's going to come back. He is actually going to get the cleanup. And now I think Cellsidus is actually looking in a pretty good position, although I say that we did have a drop at the bottom left doing insane damage. So actually that... maybe overall this is still okay here for Bingoking. Because Cellsidus actually pulled back from the planetary up top. He can go back and finish it off now, which does look like he wants what he wants to do. Wow, Bingo getting cooked. Doomrat do something? What do you want me to do, Special? Bingoking chose to play Terran instead of Zerg. And Cellsidus chose to play Macro, so I have no idea what's going on. 3-3 upgrade starting. So we will catch up to the Terran eventually, but Terran plus 3 armor is about to finish up. That's going to be a decent power spike as well, when the Mutas and the Lings can't really do too much damage to this Bio army. Bingoking is just saying, fuck it, we bowl, and he just sends in here, but I don't understand why we're fighting and creep against Lingbane. I mean, that probably could have gone worse, to be fair. But I don't think we can keep flooding Zerg against the Zerg that has... well, Eco actually kind of in the toilet again, so we're down to 63 workers. We can kill this base because we can just overpower the missile turrets. Although now the bios here, we can't really do a whole lot more. We are looking like we actually want to fight this. We could maybe even kill this because it's a decent number of Lingbane here. Need to kill that Thor though. Ooh, the Mutas are getting absolutely hammered before the Lingbane gets here. Not the best fight here from Cellsidus. With this planetary anchoring, we might have a serious problem here. Okay, all the bios cleaned up, so that does mean the Mutas can reign supreme for now, but here comes the reinforcements. So it's just going to get these Mutas to back up, and I think, yeah, we did kill a lot of workers, but obviously Terran Eco is a whole different beast. Yeah, I guess we don't have the Iron Bank yet. We only have 3 orbitals. Check myself here. I don't see the orbitals. Yeah, 3 orbitals, so we're not like we can just mule hammer for days. But still, equal workers definitely favors the Terran here. Also, upgrade advantage. We still have 3-3 against 2-2 for the time being. Maybe the whole army on the whole position here. Bingo getting a little horny with his move outs. Both players kind of just eating stuff into each other and throwing a little bit. Here comes a nice drop into this forward base here for Cellsidus. The 3-3 bar going to trade pretty happily against the 2-2 Lings. Ooh, I didn't even realize Adrenal was completely forgotten as well, which is pretty damn rough here. So it means these Lings really are very underpowered. Look at these Marines absolutely shredding the Mutas. Even though they get cleaned up in the end, they're still going to take a decent trade here. We're also going to eat some more bio down below here. Even trading so at the last few minutes, but it's also equal economy and equal bases, so... well, actually, worse economy for the Zerg, so... we need to trade even better than equal here if we want to have a good shot in staying in this game. But these kind of trades are going to be good, so this gives Cellsidus a little more longevity. I split up on the attempt to split up here on the medevac's not going to work. I think that should have been a good trade there for Cellsidus. Actually, no. Barely a good trade for Cellsidus. And here comes the drop into the bottom left, and you know, Cellsidus getting hammered a bit here for not having his army split up. Desperately needs a new bases. I guess actually I say that, but he doesn't have any workers anyway, so what can you do with the new bases? Oh, look at the target fire! Liquid clam right there. Damn. That bending target fire might actually... no, the mules? Okay, I assume that was meant to be a scan. It looks like roughly where I would scan if I was a Terran. Retargeting the mutas for some reason. But yeah, I think Bingoking has done it. The supply is looking pretty damn rough. No, the mule gets away? Never mind. The mule dies, but the Marines saw that and said, fuck it, we're gonna take revenge. You do not kill one of our own. And Bingoking gonna take game number 2. So what was that about Bingo getting cooked special? Right now, Bingo is doing the cooking. Bingo King up 2-0. Are we gonna live and die by the macro Cellsidus, or are we gonna go cheesing? Looks like 15. No, hold on, where are you going? Ooh, proxy hatch. Hey, there we go. Attaboy. We got a proxy hatch coming up. So we are going to start to see some of that cheddar. But how committed is the cheddar? We don't. This is not a pool hatch build. Oh, sorry. Could still be a pool hatch build. But this looks to be more like a macro proxy hatch. At least based on the versions that I know, this is a macro one. We should see a gas pool going down shortly. Yeah. So this looks like the macro proxy hatch from the Roomba. Bingo has no idea yet that he's being given a bit of cheddar. Let's see, one of these dudes should be going down to build the natural soon. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see how Bingo King's gonna respond. He's gonna immediately go out and SV scout, which I do like. You kind of want to confirm what version of a proxy hatch this is from the Zerg. Is this highly aggressive? Are there gonna be links coming across for this? Or is it just some macro cheddarino? Lower ground bunkers, it can work, yeah, but it can also be a bit of a bait for the Terran. We need to drop it soon if we're going to drop it, yeah. We'll drop it there just before the creep starts. Maybe it's waiting to actually confirm the hatch. Yeah. So we've started a queen in the main. Are we going to start? We haven't started one in the proxy location. Generally, I think the idea is to get a queen out, yeah, and then you get a handful of links here to defend it. So far, this looks exactly like the Roomba's version of the proxy hatch. We are now pulling workers, so it's interesting. We go for a low ground bunker and a worker pull. He's trying to surround the links so they can't get out. Sort of, I think. I don't actually know what we... Yeah, it looks like we are trying to trap the links. Not going to be good enough, though. Oh, we can't... We're going to trap the queen, though. The queen can't get out. That's pretty nice. These things actually go clear a path because this queen's not getting out once it spawns. Yeah. The queen gets a hug, can't get a trimmer down. Very nice little response here from Bingo King. I haven't seen that one before. Does that mean this is unsuccessful? Not sure. You obviously do want to have the creep spread, which is a pretty big part of it, because then it takes longer for the Terran to be able to land their building. The thing is, though, Cellsidus has committed a lot... Oh, he's just going to go Banebust, I think. Doesn't look like we have any intention of dragging this game on any longer. We just want to go and full on bust it, as we're going to see a tech lab on this factory. So, wait, what? Oh no, it's just going to be Banshees. Which, I mean, Banshee's always good against ground stuff, but Lingbane, not as good. Well, at least Banshee's not as good for dealing with Lingbane. Let's see. Overlord coming in to see what's up. Ooh, catching these Banelings morphing would be huge. Did he actually see that? Don't know if you saw the Bane's being morphed. Fighting this bunker though is a bit rough. We're gonna lose a lot of our lings. Oh no, we back off as well? Oh no, Cellsidus. Oh no. Oh no, now the Banes get found. No.
Oh my god, it's an arc of absolute death. Oh god, it was a trap.
What are you saying now, Special? Looks like Bingoking might be on the verge of 3-0ing Cellsidus. Because after losing all those lings and having the Banes revealed, looking pretty rough. Okay, moving on the map against these Banes, that seems a bit sus. Now we are giving the chance for these headings to get caught. Will they get to safety of the bunker? They probably, yeah, they will. Some of these lings are just derping. We need to bust this bunker, I think. Bunker does not go down. We're dead. I think Bingoking takes this. Off racing Terran down about 700 MMR. Looks to be holding. We're about to take a 3-0 lead. Okay. Salsa says we're not done yet. I don't hear no fucking bell. I'm gonna build a lair. Okay, nice catch on the headings. This is nice. You kind of desperately needed this to make sure. Well, kind of reduce the map control here from Bingoking. As it stands though, there are still banshees on the map. Spores will be done in time to deal with them. But we're also going to let Bingoking confirm the lack of a third here from Cellsidus, which I guess you should expect because Cellsidus was very, very all in with that Bane bust. Banshee's gonna come in here. Not gonna. Well, they'll go get some drones. 2 drones down already. We have a Roach Warren. We have Lair. We don't know what we're doing with it yet. Maybe neither does Celsius. He has 100 gas, so I expect to see something. There we go. Roach speed it is. But how we need some anti-air if we're going to do any kind of attack here. Like 2 base Roach against a Banshee player. It ain't really it, by and large. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the plan is from Cellsidus. If he can pull this off, it will be a miracle. But as long as there's some tank production going, I think we'll be perfectly fine here as Bingoking. 3 Banshees even, so even doubling down, which I think is a great call. I think he saw the Roach Warren, right? No, he hasn't seen the Roach Warren actually, so he doesn't know what quite it is. If this was muted, I'm not sure I'd like the Banshee so much. I'm not sure about that, but because it's Roaches, it will turn out very well for Bingoking. Gonna kill another queen? No. 1 queen it shall be. But there's no way we can actually break this Terran, and these Banshees are just gonna keep chilling over here watching. I actually say that they go home now. Oh no, the Banshees intercept the Roaches. Wait, what? Bingoking wasn't paying attention. I don't think he saw those Roaches because his Banshees flew over them, but I don't think he saw. So we actually have some potential, especially if these Marines get caught on the map. This is also something nice for Cellsidus, but you're going to see now the Banshees are going to make their way home as we're going to try and dive in here. Oh, clutch raise on the depot. GG's called, and it will be Bingoking 3-0 against Cellsidus. Not quite what I was expecting, but still a fun series. And with that, it's going to be all for today. I think we have... yeah, no games until tomorrow. We've got Latalix and Gunner. So until then... well, I think we might have a match with Igloo tonight, but we'll see. Alright, see you everyone. Have a good evening.